Hello everyone. Do let us know if we are audible as well as visible in the chat box right away right now. Everyone? Yes, looks like we are. Cool. So we are here, all the teachers of your Vedantu JEE English team. Your team JEE Warriors is right now here. Navamita ma'am will be joining us soon, along with Namrata ma'am too. Don't worry. So we have Nandini ma'am right now with us, and we are going to break it down to the minute of the minute details. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
For the next attempt, because it's time to bounce back. And one of the most important thing when you want to bounce back is you need to know what is going to come based on what had come,
Correct.
right? So we need to dissect.
We'll analyze the papers that have already been conducted abhi tak, and then we are going to strategize for the April attempt, which is not that far. So please get ready and get set, go. And here are the analysis results in front of you guys.
Right. So we'll start off with the shift analysis so
Okay.
that students can also get to know what kind of questions came in every shift. Because see, you gave only one shift, but there is no guarantee that in the April attempt, you are going to get a very similar kind of paper pattern, or whether, you're going to get same kind of things as it happened in the first attempt. Things could go a little bit here and there. So it's always good to see what happened to others. So let's see what happened to others. Yes. So yeah, so there we go. Starting off with 27th January to 29th of January. So physics paper was mainly formula based. Sometimes it became moderate little bit, but after a day or two, it started becoming repetitive. How was it in chemistry, ma'am?
Chemistry was overall a very easy paper. Only from yesterday we are seeing questions where you have to apply little bit of your brain, where the questions were not direct, and those questions were from your organic chemistry, right? Otherwise the paper was really easy and balanced. And again we could see a trend of repetition of a few types of questions. The entire question was not repeated, but the kind was repeated, right? For example, in shift 1, if it was asked like what is the reagent used for Rosenman reduction, then in shift 2 the product of the Rosenman reduction is asked. So very repetitive questions were there.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you look at mathematics, it was always moderate lengthy. Sometimes if it was tricky, then it was very short. But then if it was doable, then it was very lengthy. So that's what was seen in mathematics. So people were really, tired, or they were really mentally frustrated when they were solving mathematics paper, because they were very lengthy questions, if you see. And this was till 29 January. Some of you might have seen this before. As you move to, this was 30th Jan. I was like, okay, we have reached some new era. Okay, so physics was again formula based, but the best part was right from 30th January to 1st of February, the questions got repeated also. Few questions definitely got repeated, and the patterns were very, very similar. Like, just like ma'am was saying, if given is asked to be found, has to be found in one shift, then in the next paper, the given was to be found, and what was asked was, given. So those kind of things happened even in physics, and those students who were familiarizing themselves with the questions from the earlier shifts were benefited a lot. And every time I was solving the paper, I was always tell my students, listen, we did this on 27th, we did it on 29th. And how was it in chemistry? Was it any different till 1st Feb?
No, it was exactly the same. The paper this time was extremely easy and purely NCRT based, right? Even for your physical chemistry, the trend was seen that the questions were asked more from the theory part, and the numericals were just one formula based. It was really, really easy. So you could save a lot of time in your chemistry exam. So the only differentiator subject that was for your JEE Mains for the January attempt seems to be the math subject, because the other two were pretty on the easier side, right?
Yeah. So see these guys. I mean, again, it is like moderate to lengthy calculations, again doable, easy, but again lengthy, tough, lengthy problems. So maths is going to be the differentiating factor. So many students are asking, sir, can you please release the shift-wise cutoffs? guys, it's very difficult, trust me, to release a shift-wise cutoff and shift-wise percentile. But this is what I heard in the reports. And Nambamita ma'am is also here. Yes. Yeah. So this is what we heard. And this is what even we feel based on our students' analysis. The cutoffs might go anywhere between 100 to 120. Let me tell you the previous ranges. It used to be anywhere between 80 to 110 or 80 to 100. This time, because explicitly physics and chemistry are the culprits here, and all the culprits, the partners in crime are over here. So that's why Namrata ma'am is missing over here today. So guys, it was to be blamed with physics and chemistry only because the papers were easy. So expect the cutoffs to go higher. Not just that.
Namrata ma'am just blamed it on us and she is not here.
Yeah, correct.
She said ki kar lo.
Correct. So even it so happened that many students said that just physics and chemistry alone, they were scoring 150, 160 marks
Oh my God.
easily.
Exactly.
So yeah, the competition here is going to be cutthroat in the marks section, no other section, right? Because
Right.
the subject wise the paper was quite easy.
Quite easy. So now let's do subject-wise analysis. Are you guys geared up for this? Let me know in the chat box. Do you want the subject-wise most important topics, most important subtopics, and the most important models? Yes or no? Sir, we are only your role models. You are our most famous model, the most. You know, that is what students will say. But no, physics model, chemistry model, not us, not these models out here, right? Okay, so let's have a look at the actual subtopics and all those important.
I think Shreyas sir has gotten back to his usual self now that the exam is over. He's like, कि आज मैं roast करूँगा. Today I will roast all the teachers who are here. So this is his usual self. Namrata ma'am is lucky today. Anyway, so we need some fire signs, some yes, something, guys. Come on, bring up the josh. What happened? You're done with your exam and now you have forgotten us, huh? Not done. Not done, huh?
Okay, so let's do subject-wise
Let's
analysis.
do. We will
Okay.
leave the camera, the space for Shreyas sir, and then we
chemistry
will
and
come
then
back. Yeah.
Maths will have a
Sure.
ghost.
Go ahead.
Okay, so starting off with physics analysis, my dear students, I will tell you first the most important must-do chapters. Now, why have I listed the chapters here first? Many students might have left these chapters for the first attempt. How many of you had left either one or two or most of these chapters? Trust me, if you had done that, you would have faced a lot of difficulty in the first attempt. Yes or no? Tell me, putting your hand on your heart and tell me right now that did you not feel that it was actually difficult? Because these topics were the most repeated ones. From 12th, it was modern, current, electricity, electrostatics, gravity, EMI, AC, ray optics. Gravity is 11th standard topic though. But they are very much related to each other. Also, if you look at units and dimensions errors every time, motion in 1D, 2D, rigid body, system of particles, thermal physics. Every time these questions have come, not just one, two questions at least, in almost each and every shift. So that's why these are must-do chapters. If you had not done it, complete it. If you need help, take the help of crash course. Don't just sit, okay, I will see this. I have saved these videos on YouTube and I'm going to watch it. If that is your mentality, then you will probably never ever do it because you're just going to procrastinate. I will do it tomorrow, day after. I'm not so sure how and when you're going to complete it unless and until you have a deadline and a schedule. So take help of the crash course. Now, talking about the most repeated models of the questions, okay, in 11th standard, you can see dimensional analysis questions have come almost every time. Error and combination questions have come almost every time. Be it kinematic equations, many questions were there where you had to use kinematic equations more than once. Non-uniform derivatives and integration based definitely came. Projectile motion was also coupled with some other topics like finding angular momentum when a projectile reaches the highest point. This question was repeated at least 3 times. Block, pulleys, strings, friction, almost every shift had this. Finding the power and work, though they were simple, but it came. This is just to tell you which questions have come repeatedly. Finding or momentum, angular momentum and energy conservation based questions every single time. Finding the moment of inertia, almost every shift. SHM kinematic simple pendulum, you might have seen these questions so many times. Buoyancy and pressure, Bernoulli's equation, viscosity, elastic modulus. Every shift had these questions, guys. thermal expansion and conduction, your first law thermodynamics and the different processes, adiabatic, isothermal based questions, finding the work done, Newton's law of gravity, Kepler's laws, escape speed. All these are like sure shot topics. You cannot leave them. Mirror lens formula, prism based questions every time. In fact, there was a prism question which just was ditto copied from one shift to the other. Refraction, total internal reflection, apparent shift, also very important. Finding electric field, potential, using Gauss laws, combination of capacitors and resistors using KCL, KVL methods, definitely very important. Finding the magnetic field, Lorentz force, very, very important. Dipole based questions have come. Faraday's lenses law, so many questions. Alternating current, every shift, guys. Simple chapter, sweet chapter, you should complete it. Finding power factors and all of that. Electromagnetic waves energy and the wave speed, almost every shift. Photoelectric effect, again. Wave particle duality, Bohr's model, atomic spectrum, most repeated models. Nuclear parameters like the radius and isotopes and all of that has come. Binding energy, Q value based questions. Diodes and its application, every shift. Logic gates also came, although there were very few questions on pure semiconductors. So this is giving you a complete analysis of what are the repeated models in physics, right? So let's go on to chemistry now.
Okay. Hi, so we're back with chemistry.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes. So in chemistry, we will first tell you that how the questions were in physical chemistry, in organic chemistry, and in inorganic chemistry.
Yeah.
In physical chemistry, guys, what we have seen throughout the question paper was that, you remember that I have taken a session where I told you all the formulas of physical chemistry.
Yeah.
So trust me, if any of you did not want to spend more time in going through all the videos of the chapters, and if you just went through the formula sheet, mark my words, you would have actually got at least 40 to 50 marks. I mean, throughout the shift, overall, all the shifts, by the way, I'm telling you, because there were direct questions related to molarity, there were direct questions related to mole fraction, there were direct questions related to the colligative properties. So basic, and thermodynamics as well, work done. I mean, they were asking you direct questions.
Yeah.
which
Direct cyclic process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just had to use the formula and you could have come up or figured out the answer. So I think I will write it down and you can continue with the organic part, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 second.
Also, there are few.
It won't come.
Here. Yes. Here it is. So physical had formula based. Oh, the color changed.
It's magical pen.
This was formula based, yes. Inorganic was completely fact based, completely NCERT oriented. There was nothing that you could even, say that this was out of syllabus, this we haven't studied, nothing. Even I kept telling you that NCERT, if you study line by line for inorganic, you could have done it. It was absolutely line by line in inorganic from NCERT, nothing else, nothing like, not even a full stop idhar udhar. So it was completely NCERT based. That's what we can say for inorganic. Yes. I mean, if you knew the answer, you could have done it. If you don't know, if you just don't know. That's it. I mean, a little bit of common sense somewhere in chemical bonding chapter. And if you know a little bit about the trends of periodic properties, maybe you could have used slight bit of common sense.
People have doubt ki in inorganic chemistry the questions were from out of syllabus, right?
No.
There were questions asked from the occurrences. They might seem that they were out of syllabus, but they were not. They are given in your periodic properties chapter. Some of the occurrences, some of the minerals have been added. You have to go through the entire chapter, and one of the mineral was missing, but you can actually do the correct answer by using the elimination method. So that question will not be considered for bonus. There's
Correct.
a few people questioning that.
But I think in 30th or 31st first, there was one question that was actually
Yeah,
from
that from metallurgy.
Yes.
Yeah,
There
that was
one
from
question.
metallurgy. You can claim that, but
Yeah.
for that you have to fill a form, and we will teach you how to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But first, let's focus on the April attempt.
Correct. Now, organic mein what was the basis? Please explain.
So, or in organic, again, it was pretty easy, right? We all the years, like the previous years, we have seen the trend that the organic portion has been the differentiating factor. Sometimes the questions were a little typical, and sometimes the concepts were likey. Students don't know about those concepts, right? But this time, organic was just name reactions, right? All the name reactions, and that too, direct name reactions were asked. Okay? First of all, direct name reactions. And what is the most common thing in organic chemistry? There are so many reagents, and they're very hard to grasp to a normal student, right? But this time, mark my words, there were just 2 reagents asked in your entire exam, except the name reactions part. The other 2 reagents was a Grignard reagent, and the other one was you're just H plus in presence of H2O. That is it. No ring expansion was asked, nothing else. Paper was extremely easy. If you had a basic idea of organic chemistry, you must have attempted all the questions because it was easy. Simple basic IUPAC naming was asked. Simple basic name reactions with 0 changes to whatever is given in your NCRT. 0 changes to the reactant, to the reagent, or to the product. No changes were done. It was a direct NCRT based paper, even easier than your board exams, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, before I move forward, I have just seen a message, just seen a chat, and I just cannot, move forward without going through that chat. Somebody has said that I was depressed. Completely understandable. That is how many of us, even if we were there, we would have felt. I understand paper was easy. The cutoff is going to be tough. And I know the expectations that you are surrounded with, it might get tough. In the community post, we will be posting a helpline number. If at all you are feeling anything, you are under any panic attack, you are feeling that you are depressed, do not take a wrong step. There is a helpline number. We all are professionals as a teacher. We are not professional enough to help you with these thoughts. So here, there will be a helpline number that will be posted in the community post. If you are ever feeling like that, if you are ever feeling so low, please call up. Do not take matter in just your hands. All right. So please do not tell us that you are depressed or anything. It's okay. There is still a lot of life left. One exam cannot decide your whole future. So chill. It's okay. And we will move forward with our chemistry. Okay. Yes. Moving forward now, organic chemistry. I think Durgesh ma'am will be able to explain it better now. Yes.
Okay, so in the general organic chemistry part, the majority of the questions, most repeated question in all the shifts were from the stability of the carbocation asked in every shift. Next was the IUPAC naming, then the acidity, basicity, order, then the stereoisomerism, very crucial and very easy questions of stereoisomerisms, like identifying the chiral carbon, and that is it. If you identify the chiral carbon, you know that it will show RS isomerism, that is it. And conformational isomerism, you must be aware with the energy differences in the conformational isomerism. Then from the hydrocarbons chapter, again extremely easy questions with no reagents except your Markovnikov and the anti-Markovnikov rule, which means what? The addition in presence of H plus and H2O, and in the presence of peroxides, that was asked. And the Sedzev rule was asked, elimination reaction, substitution and elimination reactions. Okay? And in the name reactions, all the name reactions, bacha, are very important, especially from your carbonyls and your amines section. Okay? Carbonyls, alcohols, phenols, and ether, and your amines. These 3 are the major chapters from where name reactions were asked. And the most repeated name reactions which we have seen in this January shift were Etard reaction, Rosenmund reduction, Gattam and Koch reaction, Grignard reagent, and Friedel-Crafts reaction. Okay?
Riemann-Tiemann as well. Sorry, I think we have added it
Somewhere else.
But maybe we did not. Sorry, we forgot. But Riemann-Tiemann is
Yeah.
not a reaction which has been asked thrice only this time. But even in the previous question papers, if you see the past years, they have asked Riemann-Tiemann bhar ke, like,
Yeah.
truckloads of Riemann-Tiemann is always there. So please go through that. Yes.
Yeah. Also remember, chemistry was your savior this time. If you wanted to score like 10 on 10, so this was the subject, because I don't think it can be the paper can get any more easier than this. Okay. Then from biomolecules also questions were asked in each shift. So again, do not skip this chapter. I know students skip this chapter. So here questions from enzymes, from vitamins, and all the reactions which are there of glucose, those were asked. And from amines, again, diazonium salt reactions and azodides, important, every year important, right? And from alcohols, phenols, ether, the acidity order, which was constantly asked in almost all the shifts, right? Acidity order was the main constant thing asked. Okay, let's move forward. Physical chemistry.
Yes. So physical chemistry, guys, if you look at the chapters, structure of atom was asked, and from structure of atom, we have seen that there were questions related to Bohr radius. There was question related to spectral lines, wavelength, and energy. Yes, and this was the trend in almost all the shifts. Now, moving forward, thermodynamics, we could have expected, somewhere a little bit leveled up question, but no, they did not ask. Most of the questions were related to work done, either reversible or it was related to some, isothermal system, adiabatic system, some sort of like that. But mostly it was work done, and there was one question that was directly related to cyclic process. Okay. Moving forward, mole concept. I feel like laughing at it because every time I say mole concept, I remember that question which asked you about the formula of mole fraction. So it was a joke. It was truly a joke. So yes, there was a question related to mole fraction, and directly they had asked you about molarity, like find out molarity if this was the weight, or they had given you density and they asked you about molarity. So sort of these questions, very easy, very simple. I think right now, every year we used to make this kind of videos where we used to say that these are your easy kill chapters. So if we had to tell you about this year easy kill chapter, which predictably will be for April attempt as well, it will be mole concept. I mean, mole concept is the new easy kill chapter. Moving forward, you had practical organic chemistry, where you again had to go through dyes, color of the dyes. They had asked you about separation techniques.
Also, do not forget to miss this chapter, because in every shift at least 2 questions are asked from analytical and practical organic chemistry chapter.
Exactly.
Very, very important.
Exactly. Yes. Moving forward, electrochemistry also, there were questions related to Faraday's law. Reduction, they had given you reduction potential, and then they had asked you which one is going to be a good oxidizing agent, reducing agent, sort of these kind of questions. Yes, again, nothing very, that you have to break your head and you have to calculate and oh my god, it's taking so much time. Nothing of those sort. It was pretty easy this time. Now, we had ionic equilibrium. Once again, from this chapter, we could have expected good level question. However, mostly they had asked you about solubility, product, and pH, right? Redox. Redox was an important chapter, and let me tell you, please mark my words here, that it is an easy chapter. It's not a very tough chapter, guys. In redox reaction, they had asked you again a lot of questions, a lot of shifts had seen questions related to sulfur, iodine, manganese, chromium, and this becomes easy because it is again repeated in your P block and DNF block as well, right? Plus, you also had disproportionation reaction. Questions related to disproportionation reaction was also asked. Then we go to chemical kinetics, where we saw first order reaction, half-life, and rate determination questions. From solutions, there were questions related to Raoult's law and colligative properties. And if you remember, I had told you that colligative properties you must study. So there were questions from relative lowering of vapor pressure and osmotic pressure. Cool. Moving on, last is, all of these are easy kill chapters. All of these right now. P block had aluminium, boron, occurrences, and trends they had asked. Trends related to hydrides like H2S, H2TE, which one is more acidic, which one is going to be less acidic, all of those kind of questions. Then you had DNF block, potassium permanganate and potassium dichromate. Apart from that, they were asking you about lanthanum, cerium, gadolinium, terbium, ytterbium, which one is a good reducing agent, which one is a good oxidizing agent, and electronic configurations. The exceptional electronic configuration, those were also very important. Finally, chemical bonding, structure, hybridization, and magnetic properties. That's it. Periodic properties, trends. Do not skip a single trend, because this time what they have asked you was atomic radius, electron gain enthalpy, electron affinity, ionization enthalpy. These were the questions, these were the trends that they had aimed at from periodic properties. And finally, qualitative analysis had salt analysis, flame test, and they also directly asked you about the color of compounds. So I think that's it about chemistry, right? That's it about chemistry. And now maths analysis also we are going to do. We are going to do. Yes.
So we'll just tell you, you can also take the screenshots, my dear students. See, main thing in maths was very important to know that there were questions from the deleted syllabus, and it was asked in very peculiar way that you could solve the problems even if you do not know the deleted syllabus. So it is really questionable, or whether it is actually deleted or not. So there were questions like, I remember from some binomial theorem, or even from planes, or even straight lines, and so many other things where things were pushed beyond the limits. But that does not mean that sir, now what to do next? Should I waste my time over those deleted topics? The answer is no. You focus on the chapters which are still there in your syllabus. Only when you get time, then focus on the deleted syllabus. Don't waste your time on the deleted syllabus just for the sake of that one stupid question out there which was given by NTA. Okay. Now these are the topics. Take a screenshot, my dear students. Right from, you can see a lot of algebra out here. Vectors is also there. Conics is also there. Complex sections, complex numbers, statistics, limits, trigo, matrices. Obviously, these are all standard chapters which are very important.
And there are certain chapters where the topics we have not written. That means that there were generic questions. I mean, you cannot just pinpoint one single topic that this is the topic that is most important.
Okay.
This is the topic from where I have to study. Like here, if you see in sequence and series, AGP, AP and GP, these were important. You had questions only from these topics. But if I take a look at statistics, it was very in general.
Right.
You can't really pinpoint that this is the topic which I have to study.
That's why the entire chapter name.
So that's
and
why the
even
entire
AGP
chapter
was,
name.
by the way, deleted, but still we have written it down because so many times, I mean, the question just came. It was a controversy almost every single day, my dear students. Then even sets relations, I was seeing so many questions were there. Binomial, obviously, functions, and you had continuity, differentiability, probability, differential equations, trigonometric functions, area under the curve, permutation, and quadratic equations. So you can take a screenshot of this. We are just moving aside just in case you want to do the analysis, right? So that was about maths. And
That was about today's session also.
that was about today's session. Yes. So we have given you all the sure shot topics right now. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I think if
absolutely.
a student just does these topics for the second attempt,
Like you cannot miss on these topics.
No, you cannot.
exactly.
Truly
I think a student will easily get about 220 marks or 200 marks.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you get about 220 marks, that is about 90 to 90.5 percentile, my dear students.
Correct.
So that is what you need to do. Focus on only these subtopics and the model of the papers. Because many videos on YouTube will tell you just the topics, but not the type of the questions. And the best part, what our team did now is giving you the model of the questions. So note it down. Prepare yourself for these models. No matter what the cost is, don't miss it. Sleep late, wake up early, join the crash course, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Yes, and one more thing was in chemistry, although we are saying that yes, it was very easy, it was very easy. However, in inorganic and physical, if you actually carefully look at it, they did not deviate much from the model of 2023 question paper.
Right.
It was not much deviation. Yes, the data was very easy to calculate. Yes, it was very formula based. Yes, it was very NCRT based. But in inorganic, where else can they ask from? They are
So much of the syllabus has been already deleted. What else will they ask?
And
Also, they ask questions from the that part of syllabus which is usually ignored. Like you ignore the colors, you
Yes.
ignore the flame test, you
Correct.
ignore ki qualitative analysis. There'll be one question. No, there were like 2 questions. So actually, chemistry can be the differentiating factor from these
Correct.
easy questions, but most skipped questions by the
Right.
students.
very
right?
taken for granted, and you must have thought that acha, S block is deleted, so why will they ask from qualitative analysis of S block elements?
Yeah.
But see, that was where you had to just play it slight trick, and you could have done it. And also I can guarantee, just like how I had told you in all the classes, beta, study this. Bachus, study this. There is chance that this will come. I can remember colligative properties, I kept telling you. Potassium permanganate dichromate, I kept telling you. Lanthanum, all the exceptions, I kept telling you that there will be questions from this. And exactly those ditto questions have come. And I'm pretty sure that Shreyas sir also does it in his class. So
everybody does that, and it happened.
Yeah.
So now, like our thumbnail said, ma'am,
Correct.
keep bounce back. So what is the real bounce back that needs to be done? Buckle up. To prepare for boards, obviously 75% is very important for boards. Don't take it very lightly.
And don't think that at the last moment you will start appealing to
Yeah.
the government and government
Yeah,
will
no.
listen to you.
No, all those things are
all,
not going to happen.
Biryani that you're making in your head.
Correct.
Better make the biryani, eat it.
Yeah, so 60 days plan has been already shared. I just made a video about the crash course which we have just launched, especially in English, where we all are also going to be a part of. So you have the best teachers who are meant to teach for crash course, because you might have the topmost teacher in the country, my dear students, but many of those teachers are not fit to teach in the crash course, because in a crash course you need a different kind of aptitude and different kind of approach to teach. So very few teachers can actually teach in the crash course, and we have some amazing teachers who have been repeatedly producing those results in these crash courses. Below average students have notched up their level, by the second attempt. So check out the link in the description box, and we too will be participating, will be helping you, and we too are very eager desperately to meet you, right?
Correct.
At least virtually. And if you crack JEE Mains and then you go to Ekalavya batch, prepare for JEE Advanced, eventually you will be getting to meet us in the award
You will be
distribution
in the office.
function.
You will be
Yes.
in the office. You will
Yes.
actually see where we work from, how we work. Everything, the whole culture of Vedantu, you will be able to see. So
Exactly.
that's a great chance. And I don't know how excited you are, but every year when that felicitation program happens, we are all very excited. In the office, we have dhol, we have food. What more can we ask for?
Exactly, my dear students. So with this,
So, yes.
let's call it a wrap for the session. Call it off a day. Take care, guys. Use this analysis for your best. And if you want the PDF, do let us know in the comments also. We'll share it on the Telegram
Telegram channel.
All
Yeah.
right. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye bye. Hasta la
Bye-bye.
vista. Take care.
See you guys.